everybody! So last week's video was about my weekend trip south of La Crosse to Wyalusing State Park in Wisconsin. This week's video is about my weekend trip north, way north, to Apostle Islands National Park, also in Wisconsin. And so the trip actually did not start off that well. So I left after work on Friday. It's about a 5-hour drive north. So I get north to my campsite, and this is like about a $25 campsite, and in their defense, it is called a wilderness campsite. I didn't want to just be camping around like a bunch of RVs and stuff, but, sorry for my cat. And, so basically I get to this campsite, and it has a beautiful view, very, very beautiful, but it's infested, like a crazy amount of mosquitoes. Like, it was literally inhabitable. I try to set up my tent, and I can't even set up my tent without being swarmed by mosquitoes. So I run to my car, like literally can't even pack up my tent. I also I'm very sensitive to bug bites, so like they really get bad for me. And like, I'm like, okay, fine, I can sleep in my car, but my face is swollen. Like, it would be really good if I could get some Benadryl. So I drive back to town, and first off, also this campsite is in like this pretty sketchy, not sketchy, but just, no service, dirt roads, no street lights, like very kind of eerie area. So I drive back to town, and nothing in town's open. Bayfield is a small town, more like a tourist town, and in May, it's not tourist season. So there's only one place open, and it's kind of like this bar, restaurant. So I go in, order some food, literally a glass of ice, just to ice my face down. Luckily, one of the locals there, it was pretty busy, so one of the locals offered me some Benadryl, which was great. Talking to some of the locals, just explaining like, oh, I went to this campsite, but there were so many mosquitoes and like inhabitable. I just plan on sleeping in my car, blah, blah, blah. And one of them offers me their houseboat. And she was like a local teacher, really nice, pretty trustworthy. So I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. Like, I've never been on a houseboat before. I go and stay on a houseboat, and it's like an extra houseboat. I'm the only one there. Her and her boyfriend are staying on the neighboring houseboat. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. Like, of course, stranger danger, but this is so cool. Like, I've never been on a houseboat, like on the water, sleeping. In the morning, you wake up, you can look out and see all the other boats. Really, really cool experience. Like, one of the highlights of the trip by far, and totally unexpected, completely free of charge. I have so much respect for this lady and her boyfriend. I do believe she rents out these houseboats on Airbnb, so you can also have the experience in Bayfield if you'd like. So I sleep on the houseboat, good night's sleep, no mosquitoes, and the next day I had tickets to book for a booked kayaking tour. Unfortunately for Apostle Islands, first they're literally islands, and there's not like an easy public transportation method to get to them. And even if you rent a kayak and don't go on a tour, because I'm not a huge fan of tours in general, and this tour was like $70, which is one of the cheaper ones for that area. But even renting a kayak is still almost the same price because you have to get certified for kayaking. Some of the times the water can be quite rough, relatively dangerous while you're kayaking out there. So I took a kayaking tour, which was actually pretty cool. They give you a wetsuit because the lake essentially can actually get really, really cold. I was lucky the day I went, it wasn't too cold, and the water was pretty calm. And because I was like one of the only solo kayakers, I had like a tour guide in my kayak with me. And honestly, he did most of the paddling, so I really just got to enjoy and take photos. I probably would have been very, very, very tired. It was completely worth it. I think kayaking is one of the best ways to see the Apostle Islands because you can really get in the crevices, the caves, the tunnels, It's just beautiful rock formations. It's just like nothing I've ever seen before. Such a cool experience. So really glad I did that. And then afterwards, that same day, I went to Madeline Island, which you can just take a ferry from Bayfield to Madeline Island. And being, again, off season, a lot of things are closed. So I did find a bar. It's actually the smallest bar in Wisconsin, as it claims. Had some nice beer, of course, local beer to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's very into their beer. Listen to some live music from another local who lives there. So really nice atmosphere.
Okay, it goes. Are you ready? Or am I on the air?
Go for it.
I'm on the air right now. Now I'm shy. I can't sing. Hey, would you like to play the guitar? You carry money home in a jar from a coffee house or a bar? Or would you rather get a job? A job, it's the thing that makes you get out of bed. You work every day until you're dead. Your back gets breaking and your brain gets numb, and you just can't wait until the weekends come. Well, if you don't want to beg or starve or rob, you just might have to get a job. Or would you like to play the guitar and drive for miles and miles in your car?
And I only spent that full day there because I wanted to save some money and I wanted to be refreshed for work that I had to go back to on Monday. So there were a lot of things I still could have done. I was told there's some really nice hiking trails in the area and things like that. But overall, it was a quick trip packed with, I would say, a lot of action. And I really appreciate just experiencing Apostle Islands and the houseboat. All very cool experiences. Thanks for watching, and check back next week for another video.